Yeah. I one West. We taking over. Ha. Yo, Nayata.
Yo, Gucci.
Strap to the bone, chat to me chrome. Fire one in a them head, chat to the dome. Them boy they know bad, that when me know. Only bad when me man friend pop pill alone. Tall rifle a roll under me clothes. One West a run road that a fi be known. Brown in bad bitch, not silicone. Rich badness, fat belly phone. Them boy they not ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a drum knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark, it become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish cuff we black and white. With the red light on the front eye. Toppy show. Tap about things where you nothing know. Toppy show. Kel taking a me and that a nothing show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a man no big up for. Toppy show. But he boy stop chat when the fuck you know. King them ram up in a skin them. Time you get lead poison in an infection. Make your dopey rise quicker than inflation. And the eye cast a living in dead from the inception. That's what the thing then can. Start off slow, now the thing get strong. I one West and it never take long. Now we are do the road mad injection. Toppy show. Tap about things where you know fi know. Toppy show. Kel taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat no big up for. Toppy show. But he boy stop chat where the fuck you know. Them boy they not ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a ground knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark it become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish cuff we black and white. Make the rain fall and the drum dry.
Shalom, mic check. Shalom, Israel. You know what I mean? Welcome again to another ISUPK Wednesday night law class. My name is Priest and Officer 500 Kayadwan from ISUPK Jamaica under Commanding General YAHANNA. I say Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Brakatham to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'asham Yahweh Shai to my sisters. All right, so for those who, you know what I mean, maybe just joining us, not being familiar with the ISUPK, well, if you ever heard about the Hebrew Israelites, just know that it started with the ISUPK. See, we are the home of the truth, and we never give anybody any authority to go out and form any other group. So if you go out there and see another group teaching, you understand, of course, we do what Christ did. We never stop them. You understand? Christ himself said, you know what I mean, if they are not with us, they are for our part, meaning the people will eventually see that, you know what I mean, they are full of it. You understand? So we leave them by themselves, make them do what they must do, and then eventually them true colors are going to show. You know what I mean? That tends to happen very often. All right? So, but the ISUPK and the Commanding General YAHANNA is the home of the truth. You understand? Leadership of this truth was handed down to Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? So he never put himself in charge. See? So with that now, we're going to touch upon an interesting topic because I don't know how many of you know this Chinese woman. Her name on Instagram, well, not her name, but her page is take2editor. She's a Chinese woman that came out calling Jamaicans a set of duns. See, many of you might know that we did videos on that as well. You know what I mean? We did a video exposing that Chinese woman. You understand? Yeah. But unfortunately, that same woman, you know what I mean, basically I show her true colors because she's now coming. She did an interview on TVJ at Sunrise, and she's playing the victim. You understand? You can't make this up. She played the victim. See? Making it seems like the backlash that she was getting for, well, she's not. What she was doing, we're going to play the tape. What she was doing, she was, what do I call it now? She was sweeping under the rug what she did to deserve the backlash and make it seem like it was for something else, for she not being black. So she basically was gaslighting black people here in Jamaica, you know what I mean, accusing us of being racist. Being racist is the reason why she faced the backlash, is what she claimed. You understand? She faced backlash because, you know what I mean, black people came up upon her, you know what I mean, because she was not black. And that was very disingenuous. See? But without further ado, we're going to play the tape. We're going to play the TVJ interview that she did. You understand? She and a devil. You know what I mean? There's a very popular Jamaican devil. See? A white man who is known for the internet for speaking patois. He was there also playing the victim. You understand? Now we're going to break down this. See, we're going to break down the whole interview. Hopefully. See? And then the class topic, the main class topic is, you know what I mean, the Most High loves Jacob, you know what I mean. And well, I never put this part in, but one of the points was that he hated Esau. Now, if you ask me who is Esau, Esau is the white man. You know what I mean? Your Christian pastor never taught you that. That Esau in the Bible who ate or drank the red pottage, you understand, that uncooked soup, you understand, that wasn't what was red because the meat wasn't cooked. That's the white man. That's the father of the white man. See? That's something the Christian church can't teach you. The Christian church can't teach you that Esau is the white man because the Bible tells you the fate of the white man or Esau. According to the Bible, Esau will be eradicated, or the Edomites. That's the nation of people that Esau is a part of, or the Esau's nation. According to God, Esau will be no more because Esau is the wicked on the face of the earth, according to the Bible. See? That can't be taught, that them can't teach that in a Christian church. Them can't teach that. Because then now, if the white man is Esau and Esau is God's enemy, then how are you showing me a white Jesus? Or every time you show me a pamphlet, you know what I mean, with biblical characters in it, any kind of Christian book, is always a white man. How is it that you are giving me directives as to what the Most High want, and you are a white man and God hate the white man? The Christian church will never teach you that because the Christian church is a concoction of the white man. You understand? So, we're going to touch upon that as well. But first, we're going to play this tape with this this Chinese, we're going to call her oppressor. You know what I mean? And a deceiver who was trying to gaslight black people on national TV. Without further ado, I was going to jump in, just tap up the screen, share, like, you know what I mean, follow, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. And if you have questions, just feel free to throw it in the chat.
Folks, Jamaica is a culturally diverse nation, but how much does our society really embrace non-black Jamaicans? My mom was one. Comedian Harry Gregory, a.k.a. White Yardy, and producer and director Lorna Chin join us now to share their experiences. Good morning to you both. Welcome to Smile. How are you guys?
Good morning.
All right. Lorna, tell me what are your thoughts? Because we keep saying out of many, it is our motto, out of many one people, and some people live by that and said we have the Chinese and we have the Indians and we have everyone here and we are just so loving and nice, but maybe not with everyone. Is that so?
I live in a bubble, apparently, and I didn't even know that we had this problem until maybe two and a half years ago.
Pay attention to what he implied a while ago. See? Him say, we call ourselves out of many one people, but maybe we are not so, I may paraphrase what he said. Maybe we are not so friendly to everyone. How dare him make the assumption that black people are the ones that are not, you know what I mean, accommodating to everybody else. When we all know that Jamaica is a classist and racist society built on hierarchy. Then we all know that black people were the ones who was enslaved in Jamaica. So to start off the interview that way is disingenuous and hypocritical, because the people who you are going to try to demonize now, we are the people who actually face discrimination because of race here in Jamaica. Nobody else face what we face. So now we are going to spin the narrative now, as we say, black people are unaccommodated here in Jamaica. That is not the truth. Let me continue playing the tape.
That's the problem.
And nice, but maybe not with everyone. Is that so?
I live in a bubble, apparently, and I didn't even know that we had this problem until maybe two and a half years ago. That's the honest to God truth.
And when you say we didn't know you had this problem, what do you mean by this problem?
I don't think it's a secret in Jamaica that I was attacked online for not being black, and it.
You hear what she said? She was attacked online for not being black. No, for anybody who know this Chinese woman, she was the woman who came out and said, people who don't have a passport are not Jamaican, and who think otherwise, you are a set of rascal dunce. That's the term that she used. That was the reason for the backlash. She coming out telling Jamaicans overseas that they are not Jamaican if they don't have a passport. You understand? I have a tape here where a woman will explain why she not have a Jamaican passport, which prove that them Chinese, you know what I mean, this Chinese woman don't really have, she speak well, but she don't really, you know what I mean? She have no grounds of calling anybody dunce. She calling somebody dunce is not warranted because obviously she don't have her facts straight. You understand? Let me continue playing the tape.
Obviously took me by surprise. It was totally, I would have to say, it came onto left field. I had no idea that was even an issue.
Tell us what happened.
The issue that she's talking about is people questioning whether or not she was Jamaican. And usually when that happens, because every Jamaican person, whether in Jamaica or in the diaspora, know that there's Chinese people living in Jamaica. That's Patwa. Usually it's people from another country who are going to hear our TikToks Patwa and question our Jamaican roots. See? But she is making the broad assumption that, you know what I mean, it is because she's not black why people are come up against her. No, people came up against you because you disrespected black people. You understand? You call us a set of rascal dunce. That is what the words you use. And after that, there was a flood of people putting you in your place. You understand? Let me continue playing the tape.
And Lorna, what happened?
I was talking to one of my friends on Instagram, and I wrote KMT on it. And she's supposed to be half Jamaican. So when she calls me up on the phone, she goes, "Hey, you keep writing KMT. What does that even mean?" She and I got into it, and she says, put a poll up, ask your friends. You just made that up. And so I did a poll. And then I remember going to sleep. My husband was not home. His father was very sick, and he had left that same day. And my phone is getting I'm like, oh, it's an emergency. I have to answer my phone. And I pick up the phone. It wasn't ringing. It was Instagram going off nonstop throughout the night. And then I'm like, oh crap, I'm going viral.
So,
just for speaking in my native accent. And I wasn't even speaking in patois, I was speaking in English.
so people just thought you did not have the license to do that because you're not black?
Yes.
Is it that you're not black or you're not?
That is not the truth. She went viral because she's a Chinese woman speaking patois, and people usually find that intriguing. Talk the truth. Anybody, any Jamaican in the chat? Any Jamaican in the chat know that when we hear a Chinese person, you know what I mean, speak in our native tongue, it's usually intriguing. Let me give you an example. There was this Chinese woman and Magnum Kings and Queen of Dancer who was not talented. And she went far into the competition because she was a Chinese woman speaking and DJing in patois. You understand? The viralness of our video or whatever she did was not because people, you know what I mean, was rejecting her. It was because Jamaican people is fascinated with Chinese and other nations speaking our language. No, where the backlash came on this hypocritical Chinese woman, you know what I mean, won't say, was when she was trying to dictate who was a Jamaican and who was not. And now people started, you know what I mean, reacting to fear, disrespect. And that made her even more viral. That is what she is known for. Anybody who know this woman, this is her. You know what I mean? Hopefully you can see her. This is her. Anybody who know this Chinese wench, Zane, this oppressor, because that is what the Chinese are to us here in Jamaica today. Zane, anybody who know her, know what she's viral for. She's not viral for doing any poll. No poll. This is the first I'm hearing about this poll. She went viral because she called Jamaicans a set of rascal duns. And we're going to jump to that video right now. And then we might come back and forth, you know what I mean, with this, back to this video again, just to address some points. But in the meanwhile, everybody has to jump in, just tap up the screen, share, like, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. So this is what she's known for.
My fellow Jamaicans, may come for drink milk, but be there cocoa. It is abundantly clear to me that there are people who live foreign and identify as Jamaicans, but you don't have one of these. And while you're entitled to your opinion, one is a set of rascal duns. So let me set the record straight.
That is what she went viral for. That is the reason for the backlash. The backlash is because she called Jamaicans diaspora who don't have a, you know what I mean, well, not just them, because you have other people who own a passport, who live here in Jamaica, who says, no, that is not the case. That is not the case. Whether you have a passport or not, from your born Jamaican, you're Jamaican. How much people in Jamaica don't have a passport? The only time we try to deal with a passport is if, for the most part, we are trying to go to the United States or migrate. So what she's saying is stupidity. You understand? What she's saying is ignorance and dunceness. She's dunce. See? But people reacted to her statement calling Jamaican people dunce because it was disrespectful. It wasn't because she was Chinese. It was because she had no manners and respect for the black people who made her rich here in Jamaica, who support her business and her father business. She make a statement once that her father, as a matter of fact, I don't remember if she replied to me in a comment this or she did a video, but she said her father is the original Mr. Chin, which means he is the old legacy of Chinese establishment here in Jamaica. He is the original Mr. Chin, mean he is the, you know what I mean, the original rich foundation Chinaman who set the foundation, you know what I mean, who benefited from black people patronage, money, and, you know what I mean, and welcome here in Jamaica. That is what that means. So for she to come out disrespecting Jamaicans for being duns or calling us duns is ungrateful, because she would have not been able to go to university or wherever she went, school or whatever, if it wasn't for our duns money what we give her. and pay our father for make him can send her to school. You understand? So it is not because we don't accept Chinese people. You understand? I mean, if it was up to me here in Jamaica, we would not support Chinese businesses, and that would be the wise thing to do. We would support our own if it was up to me. If it was up to Commanding General YAHANNA and the ISUPK, the Chinese would be second-class citizens next to black people here in Jamaica. We wouldn't be at the bottom. We would be at the top of our society. But the Chinese, we are so loving and welcoming that the Chinese rule over us here in Jamaica. That is how loving we are. We made them rich and we remain poor. You understand? Let me continue playing this tape. Then we're going to play a woman who says she don't have her passport for some reason. And a Jamaica she come from. And you can clearly see that this is, you know what I mean, an authentic Jamaican. Let me continue playing this.
Number one, Jamaica is not an African nation. It's not a black country. We identify as an ethnically diverse society, people.
All right. I agree with her, but only for this reason. Only because I don't believe we are Africans. As a matter of fact, we are not Africans. You understand? No, but I understand what she's trying to say. See? But our point didn't land because, say for example, we were Africans. Jamaica would be an African country because we are predominantly, you know what I mean, black people. See? Jamaica is predominantly black people. 90% of Jamaicans are, you know what I mean, well, we say Israelites, but others who don't know no better are going to say African heritage. See? But what she's trying to do now is say, no, it's not just black people in Jamaica trying to diminish, you know what I mean, the blackness of Jamaica. That is what she's trying to do. You understand? Saying that Chinese people is there, but Chinese people is in the minority. The overwhelming minority and white people. See? So when people, and this is the hypocrisy of these heathens, because they love being Jamaican, you know. They love to be Jamaican. They love when they go overseas, people are so, you know what I mean, surprised at them Jamaican dialect, or them sound Jamaican, and them proud. Once upon a time, talking like a Jamaican or we speak was frowned upon, wasn't it not? Talking like how Jamaican people speak was frowned upon. It was looked upon as dunce, tacky. You understand? But because of what black people, the Israelites, have done here in Jamaica, making Jamaica this great place that the world loves, from the food. See, now you have these heathens so proud to be Jamaicans. You are proud to be Jamaicans when it is the black people, she calls us Africans, who she's trying to say that it's not only these people. If it wasn't for us, Jamaica would be a no, you know what I mean, not very important. Jamaica would just be another island in the Caribbean. From the music to the sports, to the food, to our culture, to the way we speak, the same language that many of us, you know what I mean, used to get demonized because of, is the language she wants to speak now and brag that she speak. And then she's going to call us dunce for not agreeing with her. You know what that is? That is Chinese privilege. That is privilege. Knowing that you depend on these people for your survival. But knowing that you have so much power that you can speak any way you feel like about them and there will be no consequences. But them things they don't fly over the ISUPK head. These are the things that we address. You understand? We don't let other nations come and take advantage of God's chosen people. See? That is what we do. Let me continue playing this tape.
Please just stop it. Out of many, one people, Jamaicans, we do not hyphenate and we do not encourage separation by race.
Out of many, one people, but who contribute the most to the Jamaican culture and the Jamaican image? Black people. Not Chinese people. Nobody think about Chinese people when them think about Jamaica. Black people.
Number 2. This one's mine. This is my granny one. This one is my mom's. And this is grandpa.
I know why she can show them passport, because you can bet your bottom dollar that them don't live in Jamaica. She's so proud of the passport business. This is our granny one. This is our this one. This is our that one. Because she probably live in the United States. You understand? They make so much money that them don't have to live in Jamaica anymore, but them like the Jamaican culture and the attention that them get for being Jamaican. You understand? And we are not saying she's not Jamaican. She's Jamaican. But none of these heathens wouldn't be proud of Jamaica if it wasn't for the name that the black people made for Jamaica here in the island, on the island. If it wasn't for our struggle and our oppression that we face, Jamaica wouldn't have no name. But no, it's like I see same thing with the black American brothers. You see all these heathens trying to dress like black American. See? Them try to speak like black American. Them listen to rap music. But nobody really wants to be black people. Nobody wants to face the suffering that black people face. It's cool to be black people until it's time to be black people. Now she face backlash that all Jamaicans face on a daily. And it's uncomfortable. She's not used to it. And now our superior, you know what I mean, race, ego is now coming out that now, how dare you speak to me like this? You set a rascal at dunce. Because that is what them really think of us as, being dunce. Just a set of dunce people. Most dunce because we allow them to come in them few numbers and rise atop of us. You understand? I remember a brother told me on the slavery, see, that he worked at a wholesale one time and the Chinese man, little son, used to come around them a lot, but him rude. And one at a time, them you know what I mean? What I call it now? Reprimand him because I'm rudeness. And him say, that's why my father called us slave. They consider us slaves. And it upset me every time when we see some black Jamaican I try pick up for them Chinese. All right. You know what I mean? It's so weird. You know what Chinese people can tell you about your mother or tell a Jamaican person about their mother and them laugh. A stranger to them, just tell them about their mother and them laugh about it simply because they are Chinese. Chinese are like cute little pets here in Jamaica that do nothing wrong. You understand? And it's so weird because let a black Jamaican do that to another black Jamaican. It start an argument or even start a fight. You understand? These Chinese get away with so much here in Jamaica. You know what I mean? In so many different ways. Them live an easy life here in Jamaica. And you tell me, say, we don't have the right for, you know what I mean, address, you know what I mean, the validity of what you come online to say. You know what I mean? Damn that. The hell with that. The hell with that. We have a freedom of speech here in Jamaica. And we have the right to disagree with anything, any filthy Chinese dog eater have to say. Let me continue playing this tape.
Yeah, it's hardcover. Grandpa died a long time ago. If you are planning a trip to Jamaica and you don't own one of these, you're going to have to book a return flight from where you came. These are the rules. I'm just laying it down for you. If you go to Jamaica and you don't have one of these, immigration will stamp your passport and give you a set amount of time that you're allowed to stay in Jamaica. And if you overstay your welcome, we put you back on a plane and we send you back, you, not me, you back to the country which you came. Yeah.
For most of my life, I never have a passport and nobody think of putting me on a plane and send me back. You understand? So, yeah, I guess you're probably talking to Jamaicans in the diaspora. You understand? All right, so let me just Now, all right, let me just give you a backdrop on what this video is. This video is really some Africans. You know what I mean? I might address this another day. Africans basically, and I'm going to find it strange as well, too. You know what I mean? There's so much videos of Africans talking about Jamaica, not the Caribbean, you know. Talking about Jamaica, Jamaica culture, Jamaica food, how them love Jamaica, how them this, how them that, how them think Jamaica was in Africa. I blame the Rastafari community for that, you know. But me say that for say this. See? How them Africans are so enough in our culture. Especially them being the ones who sold us and them slave ports to the oppressor to get us out of them land. Why are they taking so much interest in our culture? You would expect this vlog to be, you know what I mean, a Jamaican vlog. But instead it's an African. So anyway, let me jump, I'm a mover.
Do you understand my English but
In the
cannot
meanwhile,
speak like
everybody has
you?
to
You know
jump
the
in,
words,
remember,
you
tap up,
understand movies,
share,
YouTube,
sometime,
podcasts,
you
but
know,
when
come
it's time
right.
to talk,
You
you
understand?
freeze.
Look for the
It's not your
internet
fault.
class, just tap up the screen.
Tiny girl, lady, people. But our badass tiny girl, lady, who feels that she should defend our Chinese roots in Jamaica. What I can't understand.
All right, we'll soon get to our point. But notice how she's referred to the Chinese woman who blatantly disrespect she. This badass Chinese girl, and laughing. That is what me I talk about. A Chinese person can say whatever them like to a Jamaican and we just find it like, we just look at them like a cute little pet that do no harm and can't do any harm. When these people are literally our modern day oppressors here in Jamaica. Is the same thing with Christianity. Christianity make you look at white people as if they are harmless, when the track records show that they are the most murderous people on the face of the entire earth. But a Christian mind will make you love the oppressor and treat the oppressor like a little pet. Your guard is completely down when it comes to the oppressor. It's the same thing with Jamaican people and Chinese people. We drop with guard when it comes to Chinese people. Why would we do that? Let me continue playing the tape.
With you is when some of the points you're making that, you know, Jamaican people are not Africans and that patois is not from the African language. And you're wrong. You understand? I don't know if you had problem in school. You said that they used to mark you. News, we have news for you. They used to mark me too. And for me.
And that is the problem we have. See, we're going to jump to the previous tape with the interview, see, of this white boy complaining about, you know what I mean, what he had to face here in Jamaica. And in Britain, I think he living in Britain, but he was growing up in Jamaica at some point. See? Join the club. We all went through, you know what I mean, we call it now, jeering and made fun of by our own people. But somehow, you being from another race, you expected what? If you bow down and worship you, especially children, bow down and worship you like the white Jesus or the Chinese Buddha. No, that not happen. You're going to go through the same thing where regular Jamaicans go through. You understand? This is Jamaica. Everybody have been through that. See? So, we're going to jump to the next step. You understand? We'll go back to this. We have finished playing this. We're going to play out the white boy part. And then we might not play the entire tape, but we definitely are going to jump to some scriptures after this. In the meanwhile, again, remember, tap up the screen, share, like, subscribe. As soon as you jump in, share, blast it round in the chat. You understand? Yeah, man.
Were they concerning your Jamaican heritage, or were they saying, you know, you don't black? Or the two are mutually exclusive? Or was it both?
I'm going to be honest, it's simply because I didn't appear to be black.
Gotcha.
You see how she emphasized it being about being black? Because she's trying to make it a race thing. And I'm very suspicious of this Chinese woman. She's very active on the internet. She's the one always trying to teach us Jamaican culture. I am not really sure what is her motive and if she have an agenda. She's always so interesting to teach Jamaica, re-educate Jamaicans about Jamaican culture. It sounds suspicious to me. You understand?
Sure. Wow. And so how did that make you feel living? I mean, you're born here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did that make you feel, you know, we'd hear this thing all our lives, out of many one, and all the cultures that meld to make Jamaica what it is. And here you are going through this. Does that make you question the motto and question the reality you've been living for however long?
I do not question the motto. I realize that there are multiple interpretations of the motto. And that's because if I find that you're not hostile and you're not a troll and that you're not insane, I'm going to entertain an argument, a discussion, sorry. I love a good discussion because I like learning new perspectives because like I said.
All right, let's address Jamaicans' motto. See, let's address the motto. See, out of many one people. That would give you the impression that Jamaica is a melting pot and we all, you know what I mean, love each other and come together as one, right? But what percentage of Chinese people live in black communities here in Jamaica? Does anybody know? What percentage? If we're up on a percentage level, it's zero. It's zero. See? Where do the Chinese people live? In Cherry Garden, in Beverly Hills, in all the high communities here in Jamaica. Where does white people live? White people live in Cherry Garden, in all the big communities in Jamaica. Where does the Arabs live? Where does the Palestinian who come here, you know what I mean, with a shirt on them back and become rich here in Jamaica? Where do they live? In Cherry Garden, in Beverly Hills, in all the big top communities in Jamaica. Where do black people live for the most part? 90% of us, 90, probably 99% of us live in the ghetto. And when we say the ghetto, I talk about country and town. See? So is Jamaica out of many one people? Obviously not. Or else why would we be so divided? Jamaica is a divided, you know what I mean? Jamaica is divided by a race. One race of people live over here, another race of people, you know what I mean, live over here. Jamaica is not out of many one people. Jamaica is a land separated by race. And that is a fact. Chinese people do not live where black people live. White people do not live where black people live or where Chinese people live. Jamaica is separated through race. Jamaica is a racist country. Let me just tell you straight. Jamaica is racist. And the only people in Jamaica who are not racist is black people. And you know why black people is not racist? Better could you tell me why black people is not racist? Does anybody in the chat know why black people is the only race of people that is not racist here in Jamaica? And why the other people, they are racist? Let me see if you don't know. See, we're bringing up on game today. We teach you what command in general YAHANNA teach us here in the ISUPK. Does anybody know why black people are the only people here in Jamaica? Or what proves that black people are the only people here in Jamaica who are not racist? Does anybody know? Just throw it in the chat. I go now 20 seconds. The question is, what is the proof that that black people are the only non-racist people here in Jamaica? Can anybody tell me? For time's sake, I'm going to tell you now. Black people are the only race of people that supports another race of people financially and otherwise. And the vice versa is not true. Nobody support black people, business and otherwise. I want to look upon that. Black people are the only one who carry them patronage to a Chinese wholesaler supermarket, to a Arab store, to a East Indian store, to a white bank, insurance company, and nobody supports black people business. Not even the music. Not even the music, because there is this saying, Jamaicans do not buy music, which means the white people in Jamaica and the Chinese do not support our music because they are the ones usually buying music. Them don't buy our product. But we support them in every way, shape, or form. That proves that black people here in Jamaica are not racist. But Chinese people are. White people are. See? The Arabs, they are racist. The Palestinians here in Jamaica that owns nothing in Palestine, that would be shot down in the street, see, by some deranged Israeli, come here to Jamaica and become rich and become racist against us. See? All of this, and remember, you know, we are the majority here in Jamaica. We are the majority here in Jamaica. In any country, Zane, in any country on earth that you can think of, except for where the children of Israel are, talking about black Hispanics and Native Indians. In any country on this earth where the majority is a particular race, you would expect that majority to be in rulership. That is not the case with Jamaica, Trinidad, Haiti, you understand? Mexico, and anywhere the children of Israel are. It's always another nation ruling over us. And that is a biblical prophecy which we're going to jump to right now. Remember, for top up the screen, like, share, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching at. This is the ISUPK Wednesday night law class. You know what I mean? My name is Priest and Officer Kayadwan out of ISUPK Jamaica, under commanding General YAHANNA. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 43. And this is what it said. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. Isn't that the situation with us here in Jamaica? Where the stranger that come and live amongst us, them rise to power and become very high in society. Let me continue. And thou shalt come down very low. And we are at the bottom of society. Isn't that our situation here in Jamaica? That is the situation in every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian society today. And for the last 600 years. This is a curse that the Most High said would happen to the children of Israel, his people, for disobeying him. When you read Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, you see a list of curse and blessing. This was when the Most High was establishing his covenant with his chosen people, Israel. And he said, if we turn away from him, these things would happen. And one of these curses was what I just read a while ago. That the stranger, the Chinese, the white people, the Arabs, the East Indians, they would come amongst us and they will get up above us very high. And we would come down very low. See? Let me continue reading. Let's read verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. We borrow from the Chinese. Do we not? Don't we borrow from the Chinese? Morris, you send me an invite, but me not accept no invite. You remember, bro? See? But you can leave your comment in the chat. We borrow from the Chinese. He lend to us, and we don't lend to him. Right? We take Chinese loan. And how the loan got is that You know what I mean? Them lend we a road which we have to pay back over the next 50 years. And then we own the road. Some crazy loan. Some crazy, you know what I mean? What I call it now? Some crazy conditions when it comes to us borrowing these Chinese loans. Let me read this again. Deuteronomy 28 and 44. It is in your Bible that you have at your house. This is something the Christian church never pulls out because it is of none significance to their doctrine and their religion. But it is of much significance to Black Hispanics and Native Indians' life and existence. Let me read. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. We borrow from the oppressor, from the Chinese, you understand? And all the other nations. And we don't lend to them because who is in debt to the other nation is the servant. Who lends you money, you are now their servant. You understand? If we lend to somebody, all right, so Rattel said, we are in the Bible. It is Deuteronomy 28 and 44. That is where I'm currently reading from now. But if you read the entire chapter, Deuteronomy 28, you will see all the blessings and the curse, the stipulations that the Most High gave to the children of Israel. If they kept his laws and his statutes and commandments, what would happen to them? And if they broke his laws, statutes, and commandments, what would happen to them? And that is exactly what is happening to us now for breaking the Most High laws, statutes, and commandments. So read, I'm imploring everybody to read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. See? This is something that the Christian church never bring out. So, like what I say, who lends money to you, you are now in debt to them. You are now their servant. You understand? And we are in debt to these heathens. See? Let me continue. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Your Christian pastor like to include this scripture in their prayers. When they pray for your blessing over your life, and you know what I mean? Thou shalt let them be the head and not the tail. Not understanding that it has deeper significance. This is talking about we being subjugated by these other nations. This was given to God's chosen people. This wasn't a stupid religion. This was the contract that the Most High signed with our people, with our foreparents, and tell us from the beginning what would happen if we disobeyed him. And some religion now have our scriptures, our record, in them filthy hands, and now watering it down through, you know what I mean, through doctrine, making it have none effect. When in reality, this is Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians' lives. Rattel say, Rattel nigger, or ninja, say, that's for the Israelis. Well, Rattel, I don't know if you have ever heard, but the Israelis are not the real Israelites. They are not the people written off in this Bible. I don't know if it's the first year here, but you know what I mean? For many of our people, they probably never heard this before. But from 1969, the ISUPK and well, Commanding General YAHANNA wasn't the head at that time. But from 1969, saying the ISUPK has always brought out that the real 12 tribes of Israel are not the Israelis over there. It's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? May I make you know, Rattel, may I let you know now. Black people who were brought over here in the transatlantic slave trade. We are the real 12 tribes of Israel. We are the real Jews. You understand? So that was the Israelis now. They are just Europeans, white people. You know what I mean? Those are not the descendants of David. Those are not the descendants of Solomon. See? Those are heathens. Those are oppressors. And what makes it so strange as well is that these same people were a part of our slavery, meaning they claim to be us during, you know what I mean, during a time when, you know what I mean, we were enslaved. So they enslave the real Israelites and pretend to be the Israelites. It's basically identity theft. And now, where is their position? The Jewish people, which are the Israelis and the other Jewish people that are spread throughout America, who owns the banks, who owns Google, who owns Apple, who owns all the big enterprises, all the big, you know what I mean, what do you call them? All the billion and trillion dollar companies. They are all Jewish people. They are ruling the earth. When according to the Bible, it was blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who the Most High intended to rule the earth. We was his chosen people. You understand? I think he asks a different question. Let me see what about. All right, the information, you just have to continue watch your class, them and thing, but I'm going to give you another scripture that basically solidify the point. Let me just read back. Me read 45. Let me see 45. I've not known me. Bam, 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 bam. All right, let me read 45 just to solidify the point. Then I'm going to read the scripture for you, Rattel. See? Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. This was the Most High telling the children of Israel what would happen to them if they disobeyed him. See? Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments, his statutes, which he commanded this day, which is the purpose of this class today. The Most High punish us because we break his commandments. So we have a class called the ISUPK Wednesday night law class where we teach the commandments. So you stop break them so these curses can be lifted off our people. You understand? This is just God's way of punishing us like a father does for disobedience. So all we have to do now is come back to him, keep his law, statutes, and commandments, and then you will see glorious things take place. You will see the oppressor. He fall right before your eye. You will see the Chinese people become poor here in Jamaica, and you become rich. You understand? So, all right, let me jump to verse 68. Rattel. We're going to read this scripture and show you the transatlantic slave trade in the Bible. See? And this is proof, one of many proofs that we are the children of Israel. And your Christian church would never read these scriptures. See? No, Rattel, you have to understand, as you type, I can't see everything at once. I teach a class, so don't think me I focus on you alone. We just read the scripture so you understand, and then we move on back to the class. But what I would encourage you to do is continue watch the classes, and then you will get the understanding of what we really teach. You understand? So you type some questions and some comments where we can't see all of them at one time. All right, so I'm saying we are in the Bible with the Deuteronomy 28 and 68 now. Him said that's not what the chapter says. Which chapter? What you talk about? Which chapter? Anyway, let me read Deuteronomy 28 and 68 because Rattel look like him is more like probably he's a Christian. You know what I mean? So yeah, we just have to read this for those who want to learn. You know what I mean? Yeah. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, when you read the Bible, you know about the Israelites going through slavery in Egypt under the Egyptians. See? Now that happened already. While the Most High was giving the Israelites this, you know what I mean, was saying this to the Israelites were already in Egypt and was just being brought out of Egypt. So now they were out of Egypt now, and the Most High gave them this curse if they disobeyed him. So they would go back to Egypt with ships. You understand? By the means of ships. So we know that Egypt is the place where they did slavery at, right? Now, when did the children of Israel go back to Egypt? They didn't. They didn't go back to Egypt. When you check the history, the land itself wasn't even named Egypt. If you speak to a lot of the conscious community, not them tell us that the land was named Kemet or Kemet, which is partly the name of Egypt. You understand? Egypt, every nation was founded off of the father of that nation. For example, the nation of Israel is named after a man called Israel. Egypt, the land called Egypt, was named after a man, but that man's name was not called Egypt. His name was called Mizraim in the Greek, or Matizariam in the Hebrew. See, he was the son of Ham or Cam. You know what I mean? Cam is where you get Kem or Kemet or the Camite. That was the name of the land. Egypt was not the name of the land. The word Egypt means bondage or house of bondage. So this scripture is saying, and the Lord shall bring thee into bondage again with ship. While the Israelites was in that land did not name no Egypt. You understand? There was no land called Egypt. So the Most High, this word Egypt is bondage. He was not saying go back to Egypt. He was saying go back into bondage with ship, in slavery. Now, who went into slavery by the means of slave ships? Blacks and Hispanics. Black people who was taken from the west coast of Africa, you understand, who was sold by the Africans because we were refugees in that land. Black people who was taken from Europe, who these are the ones that never went down into Africa but went to Europe. We were taken from Spain. We were taken from, you know what I mean, England, Scotland. Zane, many of you might know about the Jacobite rebellions, Zane, which we fought a rebellion against the oppressor in England and Scotland, and we lost. Zane, we were royalty in England. And after losing that war, them just round up the whole away and send me into the transatlantic slave trade with the ones from West Africa. And then them now sit on the throne. You understand? That is being brought over here by the means of by the means of slave ship. See? Now we have the Hispanic brothers and sisters who were the other 10 tribes of Israel, who were taken from the Americas, brought to Spain, brought to all over Europe to serve slavery. The Most High said this would happen to his people if we disobeyed him. This never happened to the Jewish man, the Israeli. The Israeli never went into slavery by the means of ship. The Israeli doesn't fit nothing inside of this Bible. As a matter of fact, the Israeli does not accept the Bible. They only accept the Torah and the Tanakh. And they really don't go by it neither, just like Christians don't really go by the Bible. They have a book called the Talmud, where them write. And that them live by, where them called other nations goyim and sheep and cattle. And that it's okay to sleep with a young girl under this age and young boys. And that's what them follow. Them don't follow the Bible. Because what they call it now, that Talmud that the Israeli people follow, the Jewish people follow. See, that's really their culture, not the Bible. The Bible is Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people culture. That is our records. It's just compiled in a book. It's like you go inside of the, you know what I mean, Jamaica house or, you know, garden house and take out the Jamaican Constitution. And you make copies of it and make it in a book. That's what the Bible is. The Bible has nothing at all to do with any religion. For those who read the Bible, you don't get the sense of Christianity from the Bible. Christianity is not in the Bible and Judaism is not in the Bible. But you know what is in the Bible? Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians' life. Our life. When we read this Bible, that's why you see we behave the way that we behave in the church. Because when we read this Bible, all right, when a black man here in the garrison in Jamaica read Psalms, yo, Psalms basically speak about him life, you know. That's why I love Psalms so, and Proverbs, you know. Psalms is basically him read about him life. The white man don't have the same feeling towards a psalm. The Chinese man could never. The Christian church, you know what I mean? A psalm is, you rarely hear them read a psalm. Rarely. It's usually mostly Paul's writing, which them don't understand, just to justify them taking your money and loving everybody. You understand? But when you read the Bible by yourself, you don't get the sense of Christianity through the Bible. You make a connection to this book that everybody told you that it was a white man book. When you read the Bible, it tells you that Christ is a black man. But they never read that in a church yet. It tells you that the Israelites are black people. That is in the Bible, this book here, this writer, so this, that's something here. The same one that you have, the King James Version. See? It now show up on the screen. See there? This, the Holy Bible, where them put holy, and the word holy means separate. And Bible means library. It's a separate library. It's not to be mixed with everything else. This is our records. And it's just compiled in a book with a pretty case, you know what I mean, with some thin pages. And, you know what I mean, it's being read in the Christian church. It belonged to us. They took it from us. You understand? King James made copied for us. King James being a black man, by the way, who the Jacobites was fighting to put back his sons on the throne. And they lost and were brought over here into slavery. He printed this book, he made copies because the Roman Catholic Church was trying to, you know what I mean, rewrite it. The Roman Catholic Church being white people, trying to rewrite black people history. So King James took it upon himself to make him own, you understand? To not write, but to translate him own version to preserve the authenticity of it. And today in modern time, them turn it now religion, and the Christian church don't even want to read from the King James Version anymore. They rather read the New Age Version, you know what I mean, the New King James Version, because they want to corrupt what it's really saying. Let me read this again. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, or slavery, again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee. What way did the Most High spake unto us, or spoke unto us? Which way? What is that way? Does anybody know that what that way was? So him say, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. So he must say, you see the way that I spoke unto you about? What way? During this time we were in the wilderness, getting these instructions from Moses. We were being promised that there was a way to go to the promised land. The way. See? That land flowing with milk and honey. That fertile, good land, the Garden of Eden in time past. See? The Most High say, you see that land that I am promising to give you, the way whereof I spake unto thee? Let me continue reading. Thou shalt see it no more again. So this land that we, the Israelites, was given by the Most High, if we broke his laws, not only would we go into slavery by the means of slave ships, we wouldn't see that land again. Let me continue. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Weren't we sold unto our enemies? Didn't they say, good, strong nigger here, going once, going twice, sold to Mr. Johnson and such plantation? Weren't we sold here in Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean and North, Central and South America? Weren't we sold? Weren't the Hispanics sold? Weren't the Latinos sold? Let me continue. And thou, Slakia, and there shall thou be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Slave man, a bondman, is a man in slavery, a slave man. See? And bondwomen, a slave women. See? And no man shall buy you. No, why would it say you will be sold but no man buy you? What is that talking about? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what does it mean to be sold but no man buy you? Come on, man. No need for being at the ISUPK because that Christian church not teaching the Bible, man. You should have known this. The Christian church now break down the Bible too, no? For time's sake, let me break it down. We were sold, but nobody would redeem us or buy us because in Israelite custom, according to God's laws, his statutes, he gave us this statute that if any man should find himself in debt under another Israelite, he would serve that Israelite, then to pay off him debt. But if he have a relative or a kinsman who have the money to pay off that debt, then he can buy him back. You understand that is in the Bible. The Christian church does not do a good job teaching our people the Bible. See? So that is weird what that is talking about. No man shall buy you. I mean, you will find yourself in slavery and nobody will come and redeem you. Nobody will pay the cost, the price to get you out. And that is the reason why you see Martin Luther King tried, he failed. Malcolm X tried, failed. Marcus Garvey tried and failed. The Rastafari community came and turned you into weed heads and turned them back completely and start love white woman. Then failed. Farrakhan, all of the nation of Islam, all this black, the Kemet, all of them come. Nobody could buy you back out of your captivity. You're still in your captivity suffering under this oppressor and being rented out to other heathens. You understand? That is our record telling us that we are in the Bible, for lack of a better way to explain it. That is our heritage in the Bible. That is our history. That is our life. The Bible is not what you think it is. All right. Most people never read the Bible. To be honest. Most people probably read 2 Psalms. Black people may attack, you know. Them say if you want to hide something from black people, put inside a book. You understand? Most black people never read the Bible. Even the people that, you see, like to come up against the Bible. Like to brainwash you about the Bible, telling you that the Bible support, you know what I mean, with slavery. No, it does not support the slavery. It said you are the reason why you are in slavery because you disobey God, but God will gladly take you out of slavery if you turn back to him. But the people who try to demonize the Bible never read the Bible really. They don't know it. They only pick out some sound bites, I call it sound bites, some pieces to demonize the Bible. The same way the Christian church pick out some sound bites to justify Christianity and you paying them money. Nobody goes in depth into the Bible to read it except the ISUPK and the commanding general YAHANNA, the priest and prophets of God. And now we are breaking the Bible down to let you know that, look, this is what the Bible says. You are God's chosen people. Now it's time to come home. You understand? As a matter of fact, your captivity is now at an end. Or you wouldn't even see me on the internet talking. You wouldn't see Commanding General YAHANNA talking. You wouldn't see Captain Nayatak talking. You wouldn't see Officer Badawan talking on the internet if your slavery wasn't at an end. It's time for you to now come out of captivity. And that is the reason why the Most High sent his prophets. One, to prophesy against this wicked place. Because it is now coming to an end. It's about to fall. World War III is about around the corner. America is going to be destroyed. And these heathens are going to destroy themselves with it. And you, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who are God's chosen people, children of God, Yashar Allah, in the Hebrew, it's your time to rule the earth. And it is glorious. You understand? But you have to shed yourself of that Christianity, that filth that you learn in Christianity. See? You have to shed yourself of the filth that you learn in Rastafariism and Islam. You understand? You have to become brand new, and that is why we encourage you. Get inside these classes, all right? All right, so we read that now. What we do now? We're going to read Zephaniah 2:1. And this is a command from God. This is what God wants us to do today. See? Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. You understand? So the Most High is telling a nation that is not desired by anyone to gather themselves together. We are the nation that are not desired. You understand? We are the ones demonized here in Jamaica. We are the ones that everybody hate and love to hate. You understand? Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Over there in the United States, you see where Donald Trump is rallying up white people and the nation against the Mexicans and the Hispanics. We are the people who are not desired. The Most High is letting us know that we should gather together. We need to put our differences aside. Come together as God's chosen people. If we knew that we were God's chosen people, we would put our differences aside. Because now we would look at another black man as being special to the Most High, as well as yourself. See, you wouldn't just look at him as another nigger, old nigger, wicked, bad mind, all them terminology there. See, you would look at him as God's chosen people, another Hispanic brother or sister as God's chosen people. This would encourage brotherhood and sisterhood amongst us. And then now, you know what I mean, we would have the strength to now separate from these other nations. And when we say separate, we don't mean don't talk to them. We mean reserve your love for your own people. You understand? Stop giving it to the Chinese. The Chinese don't need your love. The Chinese don't need your love. The Chinese is already getting enough love from Chinese people. Stop giving white people your love. They are already getting enough love from Donald Trump and white society. You're giving your love to everybody else except your own people, when nobody else ever give them love to you. That is an unfair trade. If that was a business structure that we had as a people, it would be a failing business. And as you can see, we are failing as a people because we love everybody else and no one loves us, not even ourselves. Now it's time for change. Now is the time for come together, like what the Bible said. You understand? All right. Now we're going to jump to another topic. Zane. In the meanwhile, remember, tap up the screen, share, like, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. We have a comment over here. Let me see what the comment says. Tony Davis said, you better not go to China talking about you got just as much right to be there as they do after they beat your ass. They going to tell you what you can do with them passport. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I guess he's replying to the Chinese lady. Zin, that's just the hypocrisy. Because Chinese people have more rights here in Jamaica than black people would ever have in China. That proves that we are not racist. You understand? All right. So we're going to jump to the book of Malachi. See? And you learn inside that Christian church that God loves everybody. God is all love, right? And that is nowhere in the Bible. There's nowhere in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible you're going to find God is all love. You understand? The concept that God is all love does not add up with reality. You understand? Thinking that God is all love is an easy way to stop believing in God, because you're going to look around and see bad things happen and say, well, God can't be real, because if God did all love, then why these things happen? When the Bible never said God was all love, it was just Christianity and the lies that Christianity teach that you cannot find in the Bible. We're going to read the book Malachi chapter 1 and verse 2. Saying, and it say, I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob. So the Most High said to the children of Israel, I have loved you, I've always loved you. Oh, you are saying that I never loved you. Wasn't Esau, Jacob, your forefather's brother? And yet I love Jacob, your forefather? So the Most High said, I never love Esau, I love your father. Or are you now saying that I don't love you? And that is very important for our people to understand. Love is exclusive. See? If you show the same love that you show to, you know what I mean? So for example, see, even though a man can have more than one wife, but so for example, your wife is chastising you for loving her and not loving everybody else. That would sound weird, right? You would go to your wife and say, I only love you. Wouldn't that be more comforting to your wife? To your wife, knowing that you don't love other women as you love she. It would comfort your wife. Because if you're out there giving every woman the same love where you give your wife now going to feel special. If you show everybody children the same love that you show your children, then what the point of your children? You have to have a special love for your children. Or else they are no different from everybody else's children. You pay your children school fee, you send them to school, you give them lunch money, you make sure food is on them table, you make sure roof is over them head, clothes is on them back. You understand? If you have to do that for everybody else's children, you wouldn't have nothing for your children. So that is the reason why I tell you that love is exclusive. I'm not saying for sure love to other people, children, but you know what I mean? There's a certain love that you give to your own that you don't give to everybody else. And that is what the Most High say. And that is what the Most High expect from you. The Most High is saying that he does not give the love that he gave to your forefather, to Esau, which Esau was his brother. Esau was Jacob's brother, and the Most High hated Esau. I'll prove it. This is what the Christian church never read inside that house. See? Malachi 1 and 3, the next verse. And I hated Esau. This is God attack. Oh, your Christian pastor said God loved everybody, when God said he hated Esau. God said, let me read. And I hated Esau and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons and the wilderness. So the Most High said, how are you saying I didn't love you, Israel, when I love your forefather and I never love him, brother? Love is exclusive. The Most High said, oh, you know that I love you is because I don't love these other nations. You understand? I know someone can get it, you know. Oh, you know, say, me love you because me don't treat them like how me treat you. You get it? Or else love is just word of mouth. You understand? Or else love is just what you say out of your mouth. But the Most High is telling us that, look, I don't treat you the way I treat other people. I don't care about other people. I only focus on you. So how you gonna tell me say me no love you? See? And that is what we are saying to you. How can you love black people and then give your love to Chinese people too? And give your love to white people and the Arabs? Your people need love. Them have enough people for sure love to fame people. And rest assured, them are going to do it. Them are going to give them own people love. But you know who them not going to give no love? You silly person who wants to give them your love. Them not going to give you. So love your own. And that the most of your teacher, so love your people, because him himself never loved nobody else but you. You understand? And remember, this Bible is not for everybody. You understand? Because the Christian mind are going to say to you, then what kind of God that? The God in the Bible. That's the God in the Bible. That's what he says. It wasn't for everybody when you read the Bible. All right, when you go to other nations, if you go to India and them teach you about Shiva and Hinduism and all them things there, Shiva is all about Indian people. Shiva look like an Indian man. Shiva love is not for black people. Shiva love is for Indian people. Although Shiva is an idol and something made up and not the real God. But the Indians had sense enough to know, say, are the East Indians, we don't want to mix them up with the native Indians who are our brothers. See? The East Indians have enough sense to know, say, Shiva is for Indian, East Indian people. The Buddhists, the Chinese. Buddha look like a Chinese man. And Buddha is for Chinese people and Asians. They had enough sense to know that the God that they are going to worship have to be about their people. That is the same thing with our records. Our God, Zayn, made it exclusively about us and nobody else. To the point where he was described as looking like us in the Bible. You understand? The same way how, you know what I mean, Shiva look like the East Indians and Buddha looks like, you know what I mean, the Chinese, and white Jesus, who is not in the Bible by the way, looks like white people. Every nation God look like them. Allah and Muhammad look like the Arabs. We are the only race of people on this earth, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, who worship a God that looks like another nation. But that is not what the Bible is in the Bible. According to the Bible, God look like a black man. You understand? He have woolly hair. You understand? And our King Yahushai had woolly hair and skin of brass. Brown skin. Brown skin like a Hispanic or like a black man. You understand? The God of the Bible is for black and brown people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian. Exclusive. You understand me? So the doctrine of Christianity does not match up with the Bible. And now at the time for we wake up to that reality and separate not only from the oppressor but from his religion. We should reject the religion that comes out of the oppressor and pick up the Bible and read it for ourselves and get inside the ISUPK and let us show you how to be, you know what I mean, proud of your real heritage and make you stand strong against these oppressors and these heathens. Let us teach you, or how else you are going to learn it. How else you are going to learn? You're going to learn from some Rastafarian who will turn into a weedhead, who tell you that Selassie is all about love when the Ethiopians don't love not even the Rasta them. Not even the Rasta them, the Ethiopian. As a matter of fact, the Bobo Shanti went to Ethiopia and was charged with treason for their red, green, and gold flag. because the Ethiopians' flag was green, red, and gold, or gold, red, and green. Them say that's treason and them kick them out of Ethiopia. The Bobo Shanti don't tell you that. Oh my word. Them don't tell you. Say they are banned in Ethiopia. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Did you know that the Bobo Shanti is banned in Ethiopia? Can't go there again. So what you are going to do? You're going to make them teach you who you are. You're going to make a Christian pastor teach you who you are. And he molest your children in the process. Him sleep with your wife. Come inside the ISUPK, but we teach you righteousness and true brotherhood and sisterhood. Where your children are safe and your wife is safe with us. You understand? Get inside these classes. You understand? Let me jump on and move on to another. You know what I mean? We don't know. The Malachi 1 and 3. See? Let me jump to verse 4. Verse 4. Whereas Edom, who is Edom? Does anybody know who is Edom? In the chat. May I go on 20 seconds? Edom, who is Edom? 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3. All right, so Edom is the nation of Esau. White people. Edom means red, right? White people, they are the red people. They are not white, they are red. You understand? When a white man comes through the matrix, through his mother's womb, he's red. You understand? Their nation is Edom, or Idumea. You know what I mean? In the Apocrypha, in second Maccabees, it referred to them as our first Maccabees. Saying it referred to them as Idumea. You know what I mean? So the Most High is saying, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Right? So right now, Esau, you know what I mean, they are building the desolate, they have built up the desolate places. You know what I mean? Esau is now ruling the world. Edom, the white man, Donald Trump, going to the moon. You know what I mean? Going to space. You know what I mean? The military industrial complex. Them have the earth in a headlock. Them rule this earth, and the Chinese are trying to come up. You understand? But for so long, the white man, Idumea, Edom, have ruled this earth and still do. See? They have built up the desolate places, but the Most High said, Him will destroy it. You understand? Him said, they shall build, but I will throw down. That's World War III. All those skyscrapers that you see, they're all going to be flat. Just look at Palestine. Just look how the Israelites them. The Israelites, because they are not no Israelites. See? Look how they flatten every building in Palestine. Well, that's coming to America. You understand? That's coming to America. America is Babylon. See? Let me continue. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. Right? Because Esau is the wicked on the earth. You understand? The scripture also tell you, I'm going to read shortly. The people against whom the Lord has indignation forever. Esau, the white man, is whom the Most High have indignation forever. Let's find the meaning of the word indignation so you understand what the Most High is trying to say here. You understand? Indignation. Let me see if this is up on the screen. No, not up on the screen. Indignation, anger, annoyance, provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. So the Most High have anger against the white man. is annoyed by the white man because of his unfair treatment. Which unfair treatment? The unfair treatment that we, God's chosen people, have received from the white man. We have been enslaved for 400 years and being oppressed, systematic racism. See? Willie Lynch, being lynched, oppression. You understand? Burning cross upon the land. You're not torturing us, hanging us here in Jamaica. The most I have indignation for white people forever. Let me read it again so you don't think I'm, giving you my own words. See? It said, the people we were reading about Edom, and we said Edom is Esau, the white man. See? The people against whom the Lord has indignation forever. This is not the Israelites. This is not even the Arabs. This is not the Chinese. The most I have indignation towards a certain people forever, meaning it will never change. He is angry with them until they are gone. You understand? Let me see if verse 5, give me one more. All right, no, on a verse 5. All right, so, yeah, we're going to jump to the book of Job now. We show you who the wicked is. See, like it said, and they shall be called the bard of wickedness. Now, let's see who is the wicked. So, for those who might disagree with us that Idumea or Edom is the white man, this is what the Bible said. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now, who rules this earth? The white man. He rules this earth. The earth has been given into his hand. The Christian church will read this and say, Satan. No, this is not talking about Satan. Of course, Satan, you know what I mean, he have a lot of influence over white people, but the wicked is talking about people. It's not talking about an angel of God. You understand? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. What is that talking about? What it means to cover the face of the judges? Who are the judges? Does anybody know who's the judges? We are going to 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Who are the judges? Who are the judges? And that me are telling them, man, you need to come out of a Christian church because them not teach the Bible in a church. The judges, you find them in the Bible. You talk about the prophets. You understand? You have the book of Judges where you had judges who judge over Israel. Remember, everything is within the context of Israel because this is the records of the Israelites. You understand? So you have Isaiah, he's a judge. See? Jeremiah, he's a judge. You know what I mean? Ezekiel, Elisha, Elijah. You understand? Amos, and the main judge of all, Yahawashi Mashiach, who this world calls Jesus Christ. Well, the oppressor, the wicked, cover the faces of the judges. You understand? What it mean to cover? Meaning him hide their faces. Meaning show you a white picture of Jesus instead of a black image. Him cover their faces. So now we think that the Israelites are white people. We think that Moses was a white man. We think that Isaiah was a white man. We think that the disciples, they were a white man. You see that in the Roman Catholic Church where they put up statues of Peter and so forth as being white men. And most importantly, Christ, then put him as a white man for you to worship him as God when the Bible didn't even say he was God. He was the king of Israel. He was our king promised to us. You understand? So they cover the faces of the judges thereof. So who did that? Who did that? The white man did that. So he's the wicked. See? He's Edom. He's the border of wickedness that Malachi spoke about in 1 and 4. See? Let me continue. If not, so now it's asking you a question. If you disagree, see? Because the Bible is a book of parable. See? Pay attention. If not, if he's not the wicked, where and who is he? That is what the Bible is saying. So if not, where is the wicked and who is he? So since you don't believe what I am saying, or if you don't believe what I am saying, or what the ISUPK teach, see that the white man is the wicked on the earth, the Bible have a question for you. Well, if not, where and who is he? Where's the wicked and who is he if he is not the wicked? The man who covered the face of the judges thereof. Since you say he's not the wicked, then show me the wicked. You know what a Christian would do? A Christian would point on black people and say, black people wicked. You understand? When black people never invaded any nation of people and enslaved them for 400 years. Black people never dropped bombs on any country. You understand? But black people never drop a nuclear bomb on any nation. See? And make them children to this day are born deformed and mutated to this day. See? Black people never destroy any nation and genocide of any nation to the tunes of hundreds of millions. I don't think our people know the nature of evil that the white man is, you know. Black people never genocide a people and steal them culture and pretend to be them. If not, where and who is he? If the white man is not wicked, I think your gauge that you use to measure wickedness is broken. And that probably was broken inside that Christian church. All right, so let me jump to some more scriptures. I jump to the book of Romans. No, we're not going to read this because this fall and that would last. No, we don't need to read that at this point. Slovakia. All right, let me just read Proverbs and then we'll close out the class. See? We'll read Proverbs chapter 11 and 21. And it says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. And this goes to all our Christian brothers and sisters. You see, though hand join in hand, though you have that special love in your heart for the white man, you know what I mean, because of that white Jesus, what you don't know is that is the sorcery of that white Jesus that make you love the white man so much. Two hands joining hand and you don't, because, all right, let me explain to you something. Every time we go out on the street and we talk to our people and we let them know that God don't love everybody, the first thing them have a problem with is that the white man won't be saved. Talking about black people and even Hispanics. See? Whenever we speak to them, their problem is not that the Chinese man now go save, you know. It's not that the Arabs won't be saved. We tell them that God is only here to save, or Christ only came to save blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. When them say the white man won't be saved, that is the problem. Because them want white people to be saved, and that is because of Stockholm Syndrome. You know what I mean? Our people suffer from Stockholm Syndrome. We suffer from sympathizing with the oppressor, the ones oppressing us. You understand? And that usually happens when someone is a victim of an abuser and they are forced to live with that abuser. We are forced to live under this oppressor, even though he is the one that, you know what I mean, unalived, torture, rape, and enslave our people for 400 years. You understand? And usually how it works is whenever somebody abuses you know what I mean, and show you so much hate and abuse you in such a terrible way, you know what I mean, and be so unkind to you, the little love and sympathy that them show you, it means the world to you. You understand? So the concept of that white Jesus is that little love. To know that white Jesus died for the sin of the world, even black people, even me, even me, it means so much to you. Because you suffer from Stockholm syndrome, not remembering that it's that same white Jesus them used to analyze you too. Not the Jesus in the Bible. The Jesus in the Bible is not a white man. But that white image is what them forced down your throat while they were lynching, while they were tying you to trees and torturing you. So the little love that you get through the doctrine of Christianity, that you think you get, it means the world to you that now, you know what I mean, to the point where you can't imagine the white man not being saved. Because he's your God, he's that God in your mind. When you bow down and pray, is the white Jesus you think about. You understand? So the scripture make you know that though hands join in hand, though you want to hold on to that white man, that white Jesus, see, the wicked shall not be unpunished. God is still going to analyze this oppressor. You know what I mean? And we should be happy that the Most High would analyze the oppressor and save us and give us the rulership. You know what I mean? This shows you how much the Most High loves us. And He shows this love by giving us this love exclusively. The white man does not get this love. That is special. That's a special kind of love where nobody else can get it. See? Let me continue. But the seed of the righteous, which is blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the children of Israel, shall be delivered, shall be saved. Understand? That is the saved that the Bible talk about. You understand? And white people won't be saved. Chinese people won't be saved. They will serve us as slaves. You understand? The oppressor will serve us as slaves too. Or what is remain of them. Serve and build up our kingdom. And that is righteous. You understand? And with that, we're going to jump to the security announcement. Remember, tap up the screen, like, share, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. Slack you to everybody for the long, you know what I mean? I've not been live on TikTok for a couple weeks now due to slavery. But, you know what I mean? That slavery, they probably have to go through the window. So, like, kind of mess up the thing. See, anyway. All right. So, tap up the screen, like, share, subscribe. Yeah. Phone battery dead. Right on time. See, we're going to jump to the security announcement. All right, we are the ISUPK. These are the ISUPK security announcements. Where the ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers chapter 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Free will offering for priests, it's a priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like. So go to isupk.com, pay your tithes, support the truth. You understand? Upcoming Holy Convocation, so we have the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. This is the first day of the 7th month in the Bible. thing, and this will fall on Sunday, the 21st of September this year, according to the oppressor's calendar. You understand? You can find it in the book of Leviticus 23, verse 24 to 25. That is the memorial of blowing of trumpets. You can tune into the ISUPK, you understand? Just to be a part of the culture that was given to you, you know what I mean? And to celebrate a holy day that the Most High gave to the children of Israel, our people, you understand? Reminding Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I mad him Shabbat, I mad him Barak, Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Barak a thumb. Yadamata, class dismissed. All right, so remember, like, share, subscribe, you know the thing go. And with that, shalom.
Yeah. I want West. We taking over. Ha. Yo, Nayata.
Yo, Gucci.
Strap to the bone, chat to me chrome. Fire one in a them head, chat to the dome. Them boy they know bad, that's when me know. Only bad when the man friend pop pill alone. Tall rifle a roll under me clothes. One with a run road that a fi be known. Brown in bad bitch, not silicone. Rich badness, fat telephone. Them boy they not ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a rum knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark, he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a chance farm when it turn night. Chris Kalish calf we black and white. With the red light on the front eye. Toppy show, tap about things where you nothing do. Toppy show, Kel taking a me and that a nothing show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a man to be go for. Toppy show, but he boy stop chat where the fuck you know. King them, ram up in a skin them. Time you get lead poison in an infection. Make your dopey rise quicker than inflation. And the eye cast a living in bed from the inception. That's what the thing went on. Start off slow, now the thing get strong. I one west and it never take long. Now we are do the road mad injection. Toppy show, tap about things where you know fi know. Toppy show, Kel taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat to be go fi four. Toppy show, but he boy stop chat where the fuck you know. Them boy they not ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a gun knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a chance farm when it turn night. Chris Kalish calf we black and white. Make the rain fall and the drum dry. Oh, 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 oh.